The Ethereum beast will not be tamed. It will not be stopped, and it is growing bigger by the day. Ethereum may be getting its own futures contracts coming soon. Maker is introducing multi-collateral DAI. There's some new Ethereum scaling technology which has been unveiled at DevCon 5. Australia issues a gold-backed cryptocurrency, and more details are revealed about Ernst & Young's Nightfall. And the first bit of fun news that I have for you today is that Unstoppable Domains is bringing out their .crypto addresses. This new registry is being built on Ethereum. Now, much like the firm's blockchain domains built on Zilliqa, the .zil addresses, these domains can of course be used to provide uncensorable websites, as well as providing human-readable address routing for crypto payments. Currently, Unstoppable Domains is offering a buy one, get one free deal for domains. So if you buy a .zil domain, you get the same .crypto domain for free. There's a link down below where you can get more details or grab yourself a domain if you're looking for one. So let's start this chat in earnest today by digging into a few numbers that highlight just how big Ethereum is becoming. There are more than 75 million Ethereum addresses now, 2,600 dApps, and yes, even if many of them have no users, they still exist, and that's a lot of dApps. But daily users for dApps on Ethereum are around 17,000 at the moment. There are nearly 9,000 nodes and 1,243 monthly active developers. Wow. And it seems like Ethereum may soon get another feather in its cap in numbers. One in this situation is that the US CFTC has publicly stated that Ethereum is a commodity, which basically opens the door to seeing Ethereum derivatives listed on major markets and to be available to trade in the US potentially soon. Now that ties in with earlier news from the CME and their decision to alter their reference rate for Ethereum. I would watch for the CME to be the first ones to launch Ethereum futures. And now, of course, we can all start talking about the CME Ethereum futures price gaps and all that fun stuff. Great. Just what I've been waiting for. Maker has announced that multi-collateral DAI is going to be ready to launch on November 18th. Well, a final decision has not been made as to which tokens will be added for collateral, since Maker holders of the DAO token still need to have a vote. We do know the shortlist though. It's Augur, Basic Attention Token, Digix DAO, Golem, Omise Go, and 0x. These are just the first steps towards really breaking open that multi-collateral CDP space in general. And while it may be a few years before we start seeing things like, tokenized stocks or tokenized properties being accepted, we're certainly moving in that direction. Also announced was that any DAI holder may lock up their DAI in a smart contract to earn additional DAI via interest directly on the Maker platform. Wonder in that situation what the implications are going to be for the secondary DAI lending marketplaces like Compound Finance. Anyway, certainly very interesting to see the expansion of Maker's program to bring more collateral into the game. Day by day, decentralized finance is growing even more powerful. At DevCon 5, Joseph Lubin, the founder of Consensus, said that Ethereum 2.0 Phase 0 is set to launch in the first quarter of 2020. That's, of course, the proof of stake phase. Interestingly, though, Lubin also said that Phase 1 and Phase 2 are to launch together, likely by the end of 2020, which is ahead of the previous estimate of Quarter 1, 2021. These phases will see Ethereum bring in sharding, which is very important for scalability, as well as a new virtual machine. If launched together, that would mean that Ethereum 2.0 could be functionally operational by the end of next year. But I am not planning on holding my breath while waiting for that deadline. Because we've seen deadlines missed before, we've seen dates moved around before, but optimistic anyway. Lubin also brought up an interesting statistic that currently, based on truffle downloads and other metrics, there are estimated to be as many as 500,000 developers engaging with Ethereum, from somewhat regularly and potentially just in some capacity to a lot, which is definitely wild. The Ethereum core chain number is already number 1 in developers and has 4 times as many developers making regular contributions as Bitcoin does. But if we can trust this statistic, then 500,000 developers are engaging in some form with Ethereum, which is massive. To be clear, though, that is not developers working on upgrading or maintaining Ethereum directly, but those are people who are building on top of Ethereum. They're building dApps, they're building wallets, they're building DEXs, they're building non-fungible tokens, they're just playing around with the tech. That's pretty damn awesome. Up next, Brave browser, probably the best browser going out there, has proposed a decentralized, crypto-enhanced VPN with an extra focus on anonymity. Awesome. If Brave's browser is any indication really of where this VPN will be, it's going to be a pretty damn sweet VPN. Brave's proposed VPN system would use zero-knowledge proofs to solve the traffic accountability issue found with other decentralized VPNs, and will protect your data from being sold on to third parties, a problem which affects around a third of the current VPN solutions. Brave also plans to introduce a tipping system to reward VPN nodes based on their quality and their availability. Sounds to me like another sweet use case for the basic attention token. Now, the next story is really building on a story that we covered earlier this year from the accounting firm Ernst & Young, which released a very important addition to Ethereum, which is called Nightfall. Nightfall has been designed to enable private Ethereum transactions. And at DevCon 5, the Ernst & Young team said that Nightfall is the first step in a greater process to get businesses creating agreements, settling invoices, and making payments with each other using the public Ethereum blockchain, all while keeping their data private via zero-knowledge proofs. Nightfall has the potential to be an immense transformative force for many of the world's biggest companies and can be a key to welcome enterprises into the blockchain game. Ernst & Young already has a prototype in place for Nightfall. And who is currently using that prototype? Well, there's this little computer company called Microsoft. You might have heard of them. Now, Microsoft is using Nightfall to settle and pay contracts. The previous method of settling invoices used to take around 30 days. With Nightfall, it takes 5 minutes. And while initially costs were quite high, upgrades and batching of transactions are scheduled to bring the costs of Nightfall down dramatically. The choice for business seems pretty obvious here. It's quick, it's cheap, it's secure, it's private. Currently, Nightfall is doing more than 10,000 transactions per day for Microsoft, and Ernst & Young has even brought on 7 major video game suppliers in addition. Ernst & Young believes that by 2030, more than half of all new business contracts will be done on a blockchain. And it seems like Ernst & Young are positioning themselves very well in this growing market. And in other Ethereum upgrade news, the Plasma Group and Uniswap have released a new Ethereum scaling solution at DevCon. The project is being dubbed the Optimistic Virtual Machine, or OVM for short. This brings all of the many different layer 2 solutions together in one place, which means that, for example, a wallet provider will not have to integrate loads of different scaling solutions. They just need to integrate the OVM. The company has developed proof of concepts for 3 different scaling solutions on the OVM. plasma, state channels, and what they are calling the optimistic roll-up. Teams such as Cryptonomics Lab, Matic, and Omise Go have already begun rolling out the system. Currently, the optimistic roll-up allows for 250 transactions per second, and when it is optimized, it will reach 2,000 transactions per second. Which is pretty cool, but remember that Plasma offers near infinite scaling opportunities. But we do still need to keep in mind that security, of course, does matter with blockchains and financial applications, for example. They still need that deeper level of security, which is where the optimistic rollup comes into play. Whereas a simple gaming app, they may not need such robust levels of security. Certainly an interesting development in the scaling debate. And finally, Australia's Gold Mint is backing a crypto token based on Ethereum. Awesome. The Perth Mint Gold token is backed 1-to-1 by Gold Pass certificates, which certify that the tokens are 100% gold backed and guaranteed by the government of Western Australia, which is pretty freaking cool. Obviously, it is no substitute for directly holding gold, but it is definitely nice to see. And I really wish that crypto gold markets were a lot bigger than they are. It's sad to see that Tether, man, it is still dominating the stable coin space. We have lots of other stable coins like Paxos and USDC and TUSD, and they're all growing in prominence, but they're all linked to fiat. It'd be really cool to see some healthy gold to Bitcoin and gold to Ethereum markets actually develop on some major exchanges. I know that they already exist in a very small capacity, but it's very, very niche in comparison to the dollar Bitcoin markets or the yen Bitcoin markets. Anyway, Ethereum 2.0, it is going to be a beast. Just look at everything that is happening with it. The amount of innovation happening on Ethereum boggles my mind. So many companies are working on it. So many developers are building. All eyes are on the big upgrade. And the sooner it comes, the better. Personally, I remain very enthusiastic about the future of Ethereum. And I believe that Ethereum 2.0 will truly be an unleash the beast type of moment for the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. Anyway, you'll let me know what you think about the proposed upgrades for Ethereum down below in the comment section. As always, you guys are totally freaking awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain. Peace out till next time.